Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another special edition of Rowing Chat, in which we are bringing you a specialist business who serves the rowing community. And I'm very keen to welcome Stephane Andre. Welcome to Rowing Chat, Stephane.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, tell us a little bit about you and your business that is Rolfing for athletes.
Well, Rolfing was developed as a method of body work. Okay, it aims at a better organization in the body, and we'll talk more about that. And it is practiced so through manual therapy and educational, so how to move. Um, how I got to do this? Well, my I was not born a rower, so I told you that. Actually, my background is dancing, so I danced for a long time, and I'm still dancing, in my 50s. And I counted because I was running through problems, and I wanted actually to get better at what I was doing. And at that time, I met this amazing woman. Her name is Bria Ensign, and she's a Rolfer, and I found this absolutely amazing. It helped my career. It got rid of my injuries. I did not know how it worked exactly, but it did. Later on, as I stopped dancing professionally, and I wanted to become more of a therapist. And so at first, I went into studying with Irene Dowd, neuromuscular reeducation, and then I did some Pilates. I became a master trainer in Pilates, and all of this helped. But then I was like, something is missing. I need something to connect to the whole. And I went back to Rolfing, and I became a certified instructor. I graduated in Munich in Germany and in Boulder in Colorado. Um, that
Let's show
Yes.
people some
Oh,
of
yeah, yeah,
your
yeah, absolutely.
your Rolfing experience. So talk us through what's happening on this video.
So on this video, I'm working with a rower, a master rower, and we're working. So this is the manual work, like opening the tissue so the breath gets better. So we start with the breath, and the method is divided into 10 sessions, 10 hours, in which we are going to work on the whole connective tissue. So this is, you probably heard the term fascia. So this whole web of connective tissue where everything is connected. We have a tendency to think, oh, my neck hurts and my shoulder hurts, and this is just localized pain or localized uneasiness. Well, the truth is, it's not. The thing is that since everything is connected, I can have a problem of my leg in my leg. So right here in this video, I am working the hamstring. Now you know how important hamstrings are, in the boat and in the balance of the boat, and how it is going to affect how we're going to propel the boat. And so if the hamstrings are not well organized, and when we mean organized, we mean they're not well aligned, and it's not harmonious. There's no balance, and in such, your push, on your footrest is not going to be efficient. So this is what I'm working right here.
Hmm. Hmm.
During the whole series, we are going to work everything, you know
In 10 hours.
every single tissue that is connected, so
So that,
making more space and making it fluid.
and that's your 10 hours, how you work your way over the whole body.
Exactly, we have 10 hours. This is kind of a decorum. This is what we call the recipe. It takes 10 hours of manipulation. Now remember, there's a lot of work. We go from feet to head,
Yeah.
going to arms, and I mean, there is a lot, and the relationship between each, and that is the educational part. Rolfing is not about fixing. People don't come because they hurt. Well, at first they will, of course, because we all, they feel uneasy, or it doesn't move as it used to, maybe,
Hmm.
especially in masters or people
Hmm.
who have done a lot. So that we definitely need this 10 hours to do that. And the educational part is, how do you relearn how to move? What is the relationship between your feet and the oars? How do you breathe? What is that the breath supposed to be? What do you use, Rebecca, when you're actually, pushing and pulling on the oars? What is your breath on the catch? How do you make it easier? And that ease that you see, there are few athletes, there are few rowers that you see, and you can say, wow, that looks easy, right? Now that we both know it's not easy. There's balance, there's coordination, there's a lot of things going on in your mind. There's a lot of things going on, but they make it look easy. And that ease is about fluidity. That what appears as grace and beauty on the water actually is something that I believe we should, it's something that we should cultivate. There is to learn. And this is the beauty of the work.
So you've explained a little bit about, perhaps I can call it body work.
Mm-hmm.
How does the education and the breathing fit in with your main area of service and the impact it has?
All right. So we know a lot about education and how the brain works. Now, if I repeat the same movement over and over and over, but badly, it's going to leave an imprint in your mind. Now, putting you in a state where you are calm and there's no resistance, you are going to be able to feel more. Now, that feeling thing is always difficult to explain, but we have different receptors. We have different ways. We have different connection in our brain and our bodies to actually get us more sensitive. Now, imagine you are in the water and you clenching your jaw, and so by clenching your jaw you won't be able to breathe. Imagine that you are squeezing the oar so tight that you are actually affecting your breathing. Yes, tissues in your hands relate to your pec, after that into your throat and into your neck. So this has to be learned. How do you actually use the oar? So we have little thing using images. Imagery has a lot to do with it. Imagine a different grip. If I were a gecko, how would I use my oar? I would just grab it and feel it. By doing this, you are becoming one, or the oar becomes an extension of you. The thing with the boat is that it's not just the rower and the boat. They have to make one, just like a rider with his horse. So this is the educational part, being aware, and this is hard to get any athlete to understand, and it's hard to get a coach, to understand, and maybe to change a little bit their ways. That each rowers is so unique in its style, So that is part of the education part.
Have you ever worked with a complete beginner rower, or are these always experienced rowers?
Experienced rowers. Actually, right now, projects that we're running are like, for example, the last one in Sevilla was with the Andaluz Federation of Rowing, and usually, I start with the coach.
Mm-hmm.
If you can convince the coach, if you can have the coach understand and feel that there is something new and they can add in the training to make their athlete better, then it's a win. So some federation are easier to deal with than other, because they just need to try. And usually the coach. After that, the athletes are open, because of course they want to get better. But I think it's more than just getting better performances. Is actually also to enjoy what it is, and this is why I love master rowers. It's not just about the competition. It's about the pleasure. It's about the longevity. And this is one of the sport that is just amazing. I mean, you can row until you're 100.
People do.
That's right.
So, working with experienced athletes,
Mhm.
what can they expect after they've finished their 10 hours, their first 10 hours with you?
They are going to feel an ease. So they were not then. You know how you often talk about using the right amount of energy, wasting your energy. So this is one. A better push, a better understanding that from the moment you push from your feet, going in through the legs, into the spine, into the arms, into the oar, your stroke is going to be smooth. If you have a smooth stroke and the boat just goes fluid on the water, then you're gonna have a better performance. Now remember, the whole thing is not a fix. The whole thing is understanding and being one with what you do. So yes, they are going to feel better. They are going to have better performance. They're going to have less injuries. So
Mm.
we meet a lot of injuries, back uneasiness or injuries, or neck or shoulders. Now, these are the things that, I'm really concentrating and doing a lot of workshop about. And I usually start with these workshops. But overall, it's this feeling of, oh my God, it becomes so easy to move. So this is what they are going to get out of this educational process.
Are there any natural athletes who can do this without being taught?
Nobody is equal, right? I mean, we all know that. We have genetics. I think what it takes for this work is just like anything else, I mean, to me, it is about being better, better yourself. Um, See, it's about evolving, and that was that was the work, the initial work of Ida Rolf and other people working in somatic and therapy. How do you get people to understand who they are, when they're doing their sport, and enjoying who they are and what they do? So are they going to be, some people are going to have more resistance, some people less resistance. I think if you just go with an open mind and have fun, this is the key, right?
And lastly, tell us what's new, what's coming up in your business.
Well, what's new, actually, what has changed? I mean, what I do is a manual therapy and the education. But with the COVID, I've been pretty locked up and having to move from Asia to Europe and in a room or in a house. So that has changed. It has changed because the nature of the business has changed. A lot of conferences, which has make it um, had made it easier actually with communicating. I can talk to in Spain. I can go back in Greece. I still have contact with the national team in Vietnam, so I still have workshop and still work with them, in their environment. So that has been the fun part of it. I do miss having hands on so much, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And so and able to bring those workshops and more people. Of course, we're working like, I'm on podcast, but I know on Instagram and things like this. But you can get little cues for people so they can get interested and they know more. I mean, Rolfing is not known. It's not known. It's very small community. It's more known now that they are professional athletes that are talking about it. So this is how it goes.
So tell the listeners how they can get in touch with you if they'd like to find out more and maybe hire you.
All right, so you can go on our Instagram. So Instagram here is the Rolfing _for_athletes, and you can have all the news and all the news for rowing and other sports, of course, that I work with. But I do love rowing, and you can go on our Facebook page, and that would be Stephane Andre Rolfing. So that would be the two ways, best ways to actually get us with social media, and send us a little note, and we'll be happy to just answer back all the questions you have. There are so much to do.
Stephane, you sound like a man on a mission that
I
you are
am
going to
passionate.
drag us kicking and screaming into the world of Rolfing for athletes.
Thank you so very much. Yes, indeed. Yes.
It's been a delight talking to you. And for everybody else, do check out Stephane on the Rowing Chat directory. Go to rowing.chat and then click on the menu where it says directory. Till next time. Bye-bye.